Biggest match of the weekend, London derby, white versus blue, Chelsea versus Spurs. Two teams coming. Spurs won 3-0 against Everton, and Chelsea are coming off the loss against Sunderland. Do we know where this is at?
Yeah, it is at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Chicken
Ball.
Lane.
No, I was thinking about
3-point
it's just
lane,
Chicken Ball Stadium.
Son.
Difficult matchup. I'm not overly impressed with Spurs. I'm just not. I think that there was the new manager hype, but the way that they play, and it's very
Who's
Arsenal.
guilty of hyping their new manager, Dylan?
Not me.
No.
I just look, and I wish that we had Nick to kind of talk about it. I don't watch Spurs at all because I find their game plans to be boring. They're very similar to Arsenal right now in the
I follow Invert the Wing, so I get all my Tottenham updates there. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding what's going on over there.
Go ahead.
Nah, I mean, they did adjust last game, so they played Jed Spence high and wide and then tucked in Xavi, who was left wing, but then it was him and Kudus in the middle, essentially, with Brendan Johnson on the right. So that's something new from them. They had their best game of the season. I didn't watch it, but there's an adjustment from Frank because it feels like he's settled into that Bentancur Polina pivot, which is just inherently very negative. And then Kudus, your best creative player at the moment, is just on an island by himself. You can just throw two guys and that's neutralized. Xavi hasn't been up to speed yet. I feel like it's a different guy up top every week. Kolo Muani, Tell, Richarlison, I feel like, has been the best performing out of all of them. I know Solanke's hurt, but Kulusevski might be back. He is really good. Yeah, I'm not too sure what we're going to see, but in attack, I feel like they're just not firing. That's really what it comes down to. I feel like that's what Frank's kind of reverted to is, okay, I know I can put together a good defense. I can put Bentancur and Polina in front of my back four and we'll be sound defensively. I'll figure out the attack. That's kind of how I see it with them. So it's not going to be a low block, which is what I know. So that gives me kind of the optimism. And then again, we talked about it a lot over the weekend on different topics, but history, you know what I'm saying? Like that gives me a lot of confidence. It's just, we usually end up coming good out of this fixture. So I don't think I have any reason to doubt that changing.
Really strange because I also was on the opinion of Spurs don't score goals and they're not very good at scoring goals. They are tied for first in goals per match.
Yeah,
I know.
They're also second.
I'm pretty sure we're up there too.
You are. It's Chelsea, City, and Spurs all with 17. But you guys all have 1.9. You guys all have 0.9 in goals scored. 1.9. But like I'm pretty sure it's similar to Arsenal in the sense of it's coded through set pieces. They haven't been good in open play.
That's what we're watching.
Right. And it's I just, like you said, it's negative except for their fullbacks. Their forward three doesn't really scare me. I know you're a fan of Kudus, but like these are the games where he hasn't been great. Right? Like throughout his career.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm not going to defend him this week, Dylan. Don't try and bait me into that.
I think the thing with Tottenham is, in terms of your comparison to Arsenal, is that we expect more from the Arsenal forwards or attacking players. Whereas I don't really have expectations for Tottenham's attacking players. I don't really rate if any of them. But their defense is so class. They have Van de Ven, who's one of the best center backs, and Danso, who's been a great signing for them. Horo's hit or miss, but this Jed Spence revival is pretty important to them. So if you can lock up the shop and make do with what you have, and that's going to give you a plus 10 goal differential in third place, and I say do it. I'm just wondering if it's maybe the case with what we were talking about United earlier, where the goals just aren't coming in right now, and that there will be a flip of the switch.
It's a lot of new attackers. It is a lot of new attackers, but I think you also make a good point there. Like this is just okay. We can defend really well, and we got to figure out the attack. So to be in third in this sort of let's figure it out stage, you take that every time. I feel like we've seen a lot of frustrations. I know they had a horrific showing in the Champions League. Vicario was just played on his head, 0-0. But yeah, I just feel like it's not very inspiring in that final third, right? So he's looking for new solutions, trying to put guys in different spots. But I think hopefully Kulusevski's not back for our game. Get rest up, make sure you're healthy, son. But yeah, a guy like that I think can really make a difference in this team, especially with not knowing who's going to be your 9 every week. I think that's another thing. Like Tell, Solanke, Richarlison, that's Kolo Muani. That is, well, I was going to say 3. Kolo Muani's a little similar, but that's completely different players up top. You're not going to play the same way with each guy up top. So I think they're still figuring all that stuff out. But yeah, defensively very resolute.
Yeah, 9 of their 17 goals have come against Burnley, West Ham, and Everton. Like Everton's maybe the outlier there, but 9 goals in 3 of the matches is I think that's more encompassing of how we feel about them. And they dropped points to Wolves, right? They're a team similar to United where all season it's going to be this, especially because they're in champs as well. Like it's going to be the ebbs and flow. You said they play Newcastle midweek here, so that's to Chelsea's advantage.
We got Wolves.
I guess we can switch gears to Chelsea. I think this is the most obvious, blatant, like Esteval has to start. Right? I think we've seen enough out of him to be like, okay. Like,
if I see Neto and Garnacho, I will be very upset. I will say that.
So are we going back to your point earlier in the episode? Are you running Hato and Acheampong here?
I think Acheampong 100% starts. I think we'll figure out based on who starts midweek.
Okay.
I think on paper I'd like Fofana, but at the same time, Lord knows if he's going to be fit 100%. You just really do never know, unfortunately. And I think Hato has looked fantastic every time he's played. The fan base panicked after one bad half playing in midfield against Brentford. The kid's very talented. I think Acheampong is absolutely. I think I'm already seeing him really grow into the role. I think there is definitely opportunities for a mistake. Of course, they're teenagers. Playing in their Acheampong's a center back. Hato playing in is now secondary position. It's a bit scary, but I think depending on what we see midweek, I'd be much happier with that than a Tosin or Chalobah next to Josh. But Josh has to start. That's what I know for sure. Reece is going to start. Cucurella is going to start. Like I trust those 3 right there. So if a hand needs to be held, so be it. But if those 3 start, I'll feel a lot more comfortable about our back line. Hopefully we can rest Caicedo in midweek. I trust him to be at his best. Make sure Cucurella's boots are good. Double check that shit before the game. I cannot have the repeat of last year. That was unbelievable to see that happen twice. And we're gonna need some big performances. Again with João Pedro's kind of form currently, I don't know if I can expect that from him. Neto Garnacho not so much as well. Gittins, I'd like to see him play more, but to your point, Dylan, it's Steve, bro. It's already Steve. I think he's exceeded my expectations in terms of how quickly he'd look like quality. I think with an 18-year-old attacker from Brazil, okay, I'll have this grace period. I'm already starting. That's gone for me already. I don't think he was particularly great in his cameo against Sunderland, but if that's a bad cameo, sign me up because I've seen so much worse in recent times. He's a difference maker. He's intelligent. There's just quality oozing from him. If he starts midweek, I don't know if he starts on the weekend. I think Maresca's taken that from Pep. He's trying to protect a lot of guys. So I also don't think we see Delap start either against Tottenham. It'll probably be João Pedro. Okay. We'll probably get Tenzo, if I'm honest. It's going to be Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo. I can see that happening.
I hate that.
But yeah, I'm going to need to see some Steve, bro. It's going to have to happen. I need that.
If it was me, the perfect thing that I would like to see is Delap get 15 minutes midweek and then him start at the weekend.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah.
And if you can get him that, right? And even if Delap is not at the races at the weekend, 60 minutes or 50 minutes or whatever, if it's a half of him battling between Danso and Van de Ven is better than throwing João Pedro to the Wolves and having him do that because he's already proven this
nothing
season
performance.
When you put him against big center back, it's just not his game. And you guys don't play any other style than possession. So
I think he can do a job up top, but in his current state, just the lack.
You're
I'm not going to say lack of effort because I just think
It's
he's
confidence,
exhausted. If I'm
and
honest, but it's not there right now,
it's
and
form.
I think I don't want to get a guy hurt again with our issues. So I am tentative on wanting Delap to get thrown back in there, especially with the muscle injury. But even if Guiu starts and gives you a half of
Sure.
just harassing, bullying, wearing these guys down, maybe a little bit longer, and then you can get Delap in for like a good 30, 45-minute cameo, maybe that's the solution.
That works too. You just can't not play a 9 in this game. That would be unacceptable to me. Like he's a 9, but he's not that type of 9. I think you need a guy that's going to bang bodies against Spurs.
A
You
bully.
have to match them physically.
And even if Guiu doesn't give you the goal in the first half, he does that job, Dylan. He will absolutely harass. He will be a nuisance. He will be physical. He will create space at bare minimum. So I do think we probably end up seeing him start.
He'll play.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I do need to see Steve out there, and I need to see Josh start.
100%.
Man.
All right, well, let's predict this bitch, and then we'll get on out of here. We'll go Mila, myself, and then Grant, you will end it.
Two 1 Tottenham.
You guys have been good on the road. You guys have been good there. I just don't like the way that Spurs play, and they really bore me. So I'm hoping you guys make it into a game. But I'll go to
Chelsea to win.
What was that?
I prefer Chelsea to win. But
yeah, I think
in terms of my prediction, I think 2-1.
I think I'm gonna go in the opposite of you. I'll go 2-1 Chelsea, just because I just don't see how they score goals if it's not on set pieces, and Chelsea's been decent at set pieces, so just not long throws.
Yeah, not defending him, Dylan, but on that note, 3-1 to Chelsea, and it will be a set piece that they concede on.
Yeah, that sounds about right.